What if your sabotage is actually your soul keeping you safe? Not because you're broken, but because some part of you remembers that being seen didn't always feel safe. This isn't about mindset, it's about memory. And in this episode of Sovereignty Rising, we're going to stop blaming the pattern and start listening to the fear beneath it. We're going to let go rather than be dragged. I'm Dawn, your contrarian soul guide, and today we're walking into the fire of visibility, truth, and nervous system safety together. Today we're talking about sabotage. Not the obvious kind, not the chaos for chaos sake kind, the subtle kind. The one that shows up in, I'm not ready yet, or I just need to get a little clearer, in, I just need to fix one more thing. And I want to invite you into the possibility that what you're calling sabotage might actually be self-protection. And what you think is fear might actually be a longing for safety. So let's look at the subtle face of sabotage. You're showing up, but not all the way. You're doing the work, but stalling on the next step. You're in motion, but not in momentum. Let me guess. You said some of these things to yourself lately. I need more time to figure this out. I just don't feel clear. Maybe now's not the right time. But what if your clarity isn't missing? It's hiding underneath fear. Not the fear of failure, but the fear of exposure, the fear of being seen, raw, true, and powerful. We've given the intellect the job of categorizing, good or bad, right or wrong. But this is part of habitual thinking or habitual consciousness. But as we wind further down the spiritual path, our first real step is to become aware of our thoughts, ideas, beliefs, emotions. As we become aware of them, we create a little more space between them, the objects, and us, awareness, the one who is aware of the thought. And as we become aware, we can start to notice that suffering isn't actually caused by the events around us, but by our thoughts about life. We have expectations and judgments, and these drive thoughts that create our suffering. Our fear stems from the illusion that we can lose something of value, love, respect, admiration, connection. So our saboteur comes out to make us aware of that thought, not to create chaos, but so that we can become aware of the chaos that we maybe are creating for ourselves. I noticed this pattern in my own self-protection. And it hit me deeply when I stepped into trying to fully claim my voice as a spiritual teacher and guide. I'd been shown the vision years ago, but I circled it, danced around it, and I completely delayed it. Because I was asking deep in my nervous system, can I be seen this clearly and still be safe? That question lived in my cells, in my lineage, and parts of me that remembered when truth-telling came with consequences, when being seen was dangerous. So I stalled. Not because I didn't believe in the message, but because my body, it hadn't caught up with the vision. We store emotions, obstacles, and imbalances within our body, and they create disturbances within our nervous system. And imagine that a trapped emotion is this ball of energy, approximately the size of your fist, and it gets stored in different locations. And then when we have these emotions stored in our body, they create these disruptions. Instead of being a clear channel of energy, of power flowing through us, all of a sudden these disturbances come up and they create these little eddies, these little whirlpools. They create a little chaos within. And it's the old saying, as within, so without. So what if instead we thought of sabotage as a sacred messenger? What we call sabotage is often a very intelligent survival strategy. Your system is saying, we've been here before, it isn't or it wasn't safe then. Are you sure it's safe now? It's not trying to stop you. It's trying to protect that part of you that's still scared of being misunderstood, judged, or abandoned. So we loop. We overthink. We half launch a dream, whether that's personal or professional. We play it safe while calling it alignment. But true alignment, that lives on the other side of nervous system safety. And the truth, you've never been here before. Maybe there are some similarities, but you aren't the same person as you once were. Every moment is unique. No two are precisely the same. So, what if we made safety the new success metric? For years, I measured my growth by what I'd accomplished, who the world saw me as. Now I measure it by how safe I feel being fully honest. Because the truth is, you can launch and still be in hiding. You can be visible and still not be seen. You can be spiritual and still be performing. So the invitation isn't for more output, it's for deeper truth. And the truth, safety doesn't come from outside you. It comes from inside of you when you're present with yourself rather than abandoning and betraying with coping techniques. What would shift if your safety was your signal, not your sabotage? So, what do we do with the pattern? If you're circling something right now, a decision, a shift, a leap, pause and ask, what feels unsafe about this next step? What memory or message might be trying to rise in my body? What would it take to feel held, heard, and seen, and not just productive? And can you give yourself that? And start there, because we don't push our way to sovereignty. We soften into it. We presence ourselves into it. So the next time you feel the old pattern rise, don't shame it. Listen to it. Because when the pattern stops being the villain, you can finally meet the part of you that's just scared and longing to be held. And that is where the sabotage ends. Not in control, but in contact. If this landed for you today, come share inside the Awakening Circle, a private Facebook community. And like, subscribe, and share with somebody that you love. Interested in working together? I have 2 key coaching programs: the practical, aligned living, and the spiritual, soul alchemy. And you're welcome to book a free clarity call to explore what's truly ready to rise. Until next time, stay soft, stay true, and stay sovereign. I see the light in you, and it's frickin' brilliant. And I so badly want you to see it too.